and welcome to my kitchen and happy holidays. I've been meaning to do this actually for a couple of years, and if you can't guess what we're going to do by looking at the wrapping paper and the box, I'm going to show you how I wrap up a present. It may seem silly to some of you that I'm going to demonstrate how to wrap a package, but everyone does it differently, and Rick has been after me for quite some time to just show everyone how I wrap a package, because he seems to feel that I do it pretty well.
It's quick and easy.
My mom, when I was very young, I mean I was probably 10 years old, is when she taught me how to wrap packages and how to measure how much paper you're going to need and so on and so forth. And that to me is probably one of the easiest ways to do it, is the way that she told me to do it. So one thing I'm going to show you, we're going to wrap this, and this is for Molly because it's a camera case. It's a very cool camera case. I have two sizes of rolls of wrapping paper here, and the smartest way to start out, so you don't have to do any additional cutting, is to actually look at the size of your roll. Now obviously if I'm going to use this roll here, the plaid one, I'm going to need to cut some off in the length before I go ahead and wrap. Otherwise it's going to be bunchy and ugly. So we don't want that. This shorter roll, this is like my favorite type of wrapping paper ever in the whole wide world. This is the wrapping paper that you buy from your kids when they sell it from at the school, and it's like Sally Foster. That's what it is. Yeah. I couldn't think of it earlier. The Sally Foster wrapping paper is the most delicious wrapping paper in the entire universe. And most of the time it comes, it will come reversible, and it's just perfect. It's thick, it folds and creases beautifully, and it makes a wonderful looking package. So this one does happen to be reversible, but I think I am going to go ahead and use this patchwork side. So let's just roll out some paper, and then I'll show you how we measure how much we're going to need. If your roll is being stubborn, go ahead and put your tape dispenser or your scissors or something down.
And the worst paper you could use is Mylar. That stuff is nasty.
It's awful to wrap with that Mylar stuff. Okay, so Rick, if you can come over here, I just want to show them. When you start wrapping, when you want to measure, put your box, go ahead and put your box on your paper. Leave yourself an inch or two at this end, okay? And that's where you're going to start measuring. So you're going to start measuring from one side. So this is one, and your box is going to have four sides. So one, flip it. Two, flip it. Three, with your tape. Flip it. Four, flip it. And leave yourself an equal amount at this end, and then you can cut. And the one thing I didn't bring to the table with me was a pair of scissors. So let me grab that. Having extra at each end is, I think, one of the best recommendations I can make, because sometimes we're going to miscut, sometimes we're going to mismeasure, sometimes we're going to lose count because we're distracted by kids, pets, dogs, husbands, etc.
Not necessarily in that order.
No. Okay. Now, you can see that this paper, you're going to want to make sure that you have on both sides, just, this is perfect. This is the perfect amount, because it's going to go all the way around the box, okay? So, now I'm going to turn it this way, just because I find it to be easier. I'm going to fold it over at this end, okay? And I'm going to bring it over here. And make sure your box is straight so that your wrap doesn't get wonky. And sometimes you have to just adjust it a little bit and make sure that's perfect. Alright, now you can tape it down. A lot of people like to use double-sided tape for wrapping so that you can't see the tape on the outside. I don't think it matters. I like to use, this particular tape is invisible tape. I do not like invisible tape. It's just what I happen to have. I like transparent tape. The one in the red plaid package that Scotch makes is my favorite. Now, you can see we have ample, so we're going to be able to fold over quite a bit on this end. And yes, I know this looks like we're wasting some paper, but trust me,
Gives you a nice clean
in the
edge.
end, you're going to have a nice clean edge and a nice crease, and your package is going to look really beautiful. Put your tape down. This transparent, pardon me, this invisible tape, I think is just too cloudy, and you can really see it. Ironically, it's called invisible tape, and it's not invisible at all. Transparent tape, however, is a bit more invisible. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is at one end, while the box is still with seam side up, okay? And you're going to take your middle seam. Sometimes it is helpful. Take a little piece of tape and just stick that down. Now you're going to take one end and you're going to put it all the way into the edge of the box, and you're going to make a nice sharp angle on both sides, okay? Yes? Then take this outer corner and pull it in. So we're going to start to make what looks like the flap of an envelope. Do the other on the other side. Hold it tight. Make sure you pull it in from this end so that you've got a nice crease on the side of the box, and then crease that down. Now, you may or may not choose to put some more tape there, because this is going to help your package look really sharp. Now, you can leave it just like it is and tape it, or you can go ahead and fold it in just like that and hold it down. Let's do the other side. Now you see, I have it where it's just ever so slightly too big. So I can see there's a natural line on this wrapping paper here. I'm going to follow it the best that I can. And I'm going to cut it off. It doesn't have to be totally perfect and totally straight, because if you've left yourself enough, in the end, you're going to be able to fold over that flap anyway, so you're going to be able to hide any uneven lines that you may have made by trimming this end because it was ever so slightly too short, too long, pardon me. So, I never really thought that showing how to wrap a package was a great idea, but here you go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, we're just going to tape our center, and now I can actually catch part of the box, so it's going to hold it down.
It didn't stick.
Hmm?
It didn't stick.
Oh, it didn't stick. Well, there we go. Okay, so then crease your sides, push them down. Nice sharp crease. Now bring this in. It's kind of like geometry. But if you think about what an envelope looks like, you're kind of making that envelope flap. And get some tape. Tape down your sides here. Just like that. And now we have enough where we can fold it over. It doesn't have to be a lot, just some. And it gives you a nice clean edge. And then you got a little piece of tape there. Flip it over. Put a bow on it. And say Merry Christmas. That is how I wrap a package. Now I would not stop there. I would put a nice loopy bow on it. And I have a video on how, a recipe. I almost said recipe. I have a video on how to make a loopy bow, and I will link it in this video so that you can go and see if you want to make one for yourself. And then you can just wrap it like a shoestring wrap around the outside, and then take your little pipe cleaner and tie the loopy bow to the top, and you will have a beautiful, impressive looking package. Doesn't really matter what's inside. When you wrap a package beautifully, and you take the time to decorate it beautifully, and you know what, you can go to Walmart and get those packages of 10 or 12 really cheap little plastic glittery ornaments that you really wouldn't hang on your tree, but they have snowflakes and angels and pine cones and Santa Clauses and all kinds of things. You take one of those, you hang it off your package as a package decoration, and you put your tag on. People are going to see that. It's just like when we eat with our eyes first. When we receive a gift, it's the same concept. We receive that gift with our eyes first, and the anticipation of opening that beautiful present is almost as good as what is inside the present. Sometimes it might be better, because I've gotten some pretty crappy presents in my life. You know, from Dutch aunts who bring you things like fingertip towels when you're 13 years old, and they think that that's really like the greatest thing that they could give you. So anyway, that's how I wrap a package. I hope that helps you out, and I hope you try it, and I hope you love it. And until next time, Merry Christmas!